Hello, I'm Randy Williams, proud member of Keiretsu Forum, also the CEO. Today we have Judi Iglehart, she's president of International Division of Keiretsu. The first segment we talked about the evolution, the first 16 years. We sped through. God, there's so much more to talk about. The second segment, we're going to talk about what's next 5-10 years, what we're planning, obviously what the members are planning. But why don't we define Keiretsu Forum for this segment? Tell us what Keiretsu Forum is.
Keiretsu Forum is a membership organization that operates in 52 locations around the world using the same process every month so that a member who is in India can come to the United States and enjoy the privilege of global membership and sit through exactly the same type of meeting he or she will have at home. People come to visit us and they say, this is the most professional meeting I have ever been to. Now, why is that? Our members, we train our members, we train the entrepreneurs, but the ideal member for us is someone who meets accreditation standards either in the United States or in his or her own country, and standards are different around the world. And that person has time. They have time to take part in our due diligence, they have time to come to deal screening, they have time to come to a meeting, and then they have time to talk to other members and socialize with them. So the ideal person is someone who has enough money to invest, enough time to be part of the process, and is fun to be around.
And we see it all the time. When members join, they get ahead of their skis. They want to invest right away. So in Northern California, where it's all started, Keiretsu Forum 16 years ago, we have a 6-month rule. We ask members, slow it down. You know, don't invest for 6 months. The whole spirit of this is we have mind share, swarm intelligence around us, but no vested interest. When a member invests, 100% of his dollars goes to that entrepreneur. Now it doesn't flow back to us. So it's a very different model. So tell us a little bit about the model before we drill into what's next at Keiretsu.
Well, the model is a pretty standard. Our members bring us the best deal flow. They know what we're looking for, and in California that includes real estate, life sciences, pharma, software as a service, consumer products. We've funded a winery, we've funded a bank, we funded a chocolate company.
Good memory. Look at this memory.
We funded a cat litter box that did eventually return.
That was what, 2.5x on us?
2.5x on a cat litter, electric cat litter box. The ideal member will bring a company or an entrepreneur to us for a meeting or two to show them the process. Then they will bring the business plan, it will get uploaded, it will be reviewed in the office. We have 12 standing committees. We have such deep expertise at Keiretsu Forum. If you need a particular type of physicist from the lab, we have that person. If you need a medical doctor, we have that person. We have surgeons, we have internists, we have bankers, we have people who own realty companies. We have a little bit of everything, and we have a 65-member committee that works with the federal laboratories to evaluate the technology that's being transferred out of there. So the first thing is to be accredited, the second is to have enough time to come, and the third is to have some fun while they're there, because this is not a stuffy group. This is a group of people who are successful in their own right, and they bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, two things come from what you said. A moment ago before the show started, I was talking to an entrepreneur I'm about to wire some money to, but I did not and have not talked to my committee yet. I mean, this committee of probably about 14 of us are really analyzing this, and I'm getting it. So I don't want to get ahead of my skis, but I got to get back to our group, our friends of Mindshare, because no vested interest, and see what they're doing before I pull the trigger. That just happened a moment ago, and I love the enthusiasm, but that's why I started Keiretsu. My lack of discipline as an investor. I said, okay, slow it down, enjoy community, enjoy diverse deal flow, but take your time when you invest.
Yeah, and I joined Keiretsu Forum, and about 4 months afterward, I went to you and said, I think this can go global. And I didn't know you'd been thinking about that anyway. And you said, let's do it. Yeah. And with that, we began to move forward. And we had a strategic plan, and the plan was to put Keiretsu Forum chapters into cities and regions that had good research universities, because we knew we would get good deal flow. We also knew that we needed to be in places where the legal and financial systems were exceptionally good, because companies need to have money and they need to have legal advice. So we put them there, but we also wanted to put our chapters in places with a great deal of intellectual capital. The interesting thing that happened between 2004 and today is that the economy was so bad in certain countries, particularly in Central Eastern Eastern Europe, in Spain, kids stayed in school a long time. They couldn't get out and get a job, but they went to school and they accumulated a lot of knowledge. And now when the jobs are being created in their home communities, they're so sharp and so smart, they're just running gangbusters. So we are talking to chapters all over the world. Some are ready, some are not, but we're willing to wait, and it's even better for us if a member says, let me take your process home.
So what we've done, Judi and I, we've licensed the rights around the world. They have ownership when they memorialize the contract between us. We share IP, intellectual property, we share knowledge, but the real glue is sharing deal flow, and members have the opportunity. If you're a member of a chapter, pick it. Seoul, Korea, Tokyo, Abu
Paris,
Dhabi,
Dubai, Central Canada.
So you're a member around the world. I mean, we have a member today, and who's a member of another angel group in Silicon Valley. And he says, "Well, I'm thinking about changing to Keiretsu." I said, "No, keep both. We're in the spirit of collaboration. We're in the spirit of let's all help each other. I mean, I'm a member of other clubs, not just one country club. It's important to be members of several clubs, i.e., other forums. But when I started Keiretsu Forum, I think we had 3 in Northern California.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's probably 30 or 40, which is fantastic. So what is an angel investor? What does she or he do?
He or she is a retired serial entrepreneur or a serial entrepreneur who loves the chase of starting a new company. It is also a person who has great expertise in a particular field. We have one member who is a medical doctor, a PhD, and has his MBA, and we say he has all his bases covered. But that gentleman then can participate in the due diligence and brings a lot to the table when he's evaluating companies. We have a woman member who worked at Stanford at the Linear Accelerator for a long time. She had great knowledge of federal programs, and so she can look at a company and say, you're not going to get FDA approval for this in that amount of time. So it gets down to that level. Can that company deliver on what they're promising to investors? And that's what our companies look for. So we need a man or a woman, or we've had teenagers there to evaluate video games, and we actually had a 12-year-old 2 months ago who came, and at the end you said, how did you like it, Michael? He said, it's better than playing video games. Yeah.
Speaking of street cred for Keiretsu Forum, we do have a unicorn in our midst, soon to be a unicorn, that we invested the valuation under $10 million, and the company is called Telltale Games, and episodic game company, and it has licensing rights for the Game of Thrones and also Minecraft, and so it's doing very well, and that's going to be a tremendous exit for our members. Let's talk about the process, and I want to mention something before I forget. Our deal screening is always a week before the forums. Last deal screening, we always have it, again, all throughout the globe. We always have deal screening. We have the committee system, select the companies, and then top 5 to 10 make it to the deal screening, and then 3 or 4 make it to the forum. And so I was in there with 25 of our members, and you were there. We're in Barcadero floor overlooking the bay, on the 26th floor, and we have a great relationship. Pillsbury, thank you, Pillsbury, for allowing us to use that space.
Yeah.
And I wrote a note, three bullet points to my team. I said, 1, I'm proud. I mean, after 17 years, sometimes you get bored. I'm proud. I'm proud of our members. I'm looking around. I really enjoy smarter people. So they're all smarter than me.
Well,
number 2, they are saying things and say, why didn't I think of that? And 3, they're all making decisions. We're all making decisions together, but we vote on the companies private. No one gets to see which companies make it. They all vote on what companies make it, but nobody gets to see the vote. I think it's powerful. And I decided to institute that from day one, because I don't know about other angel groups, but you can always have bullies out there, or you can have somebody influencing or talking negative. We are gracious Shark Tank, so when we say something, it's gracious, but also when we move to challenge or critique, we never call it negative comments. We call it challenge comments. We are very honest.
And we record those comments. And unlike most angel groups, we give those recorded anonymous comments to the entrepreneur.
Yes.
So one of the entrepreneurs said to me today, I think my presentation was better. He presented a couple of times to us. I said, by the end of the week, you'll be giving the presentation you should have been giving to start with, because you've gotten all this feedback. And we want you to succeed.
To your point, we have 4 chapters in the Bay Area, and if you're really serious about making an investment,
5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, soon to be 5, right?
Yeah,
Sonoma,
Pebble
Napa.
Beach.
Pebble Beach, excuse me.
Yeah.
Soon to be Sonoma, Napa. But go to all the presentations during the cycle, and you'll hear different things said by the entrepreneur. But much more powerful, you'll hear questions asked by the members.
By the members, and every chapter has sort of a locus. If you go to a chapter meeting in Mumbai, it's in the boardroom of the biggest bank there. Very bright people, very, very bright people. But the process is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you just watch this mind share unfold. And we have 2 members who both have wonderful opinions of themselves, both men, and both have said, I used to think I was the smartest person in the room until I came to Keiretsu Forum. Keiretsu Forum is brain candy for the mind. Now, I do think that it takes a while for someone who is not conversant with the jargon of angel investing to come in. And if you come and you're by yourself, introduce yourself to me or to Randy.
It's a gracious community.
And we'll sit next to you. And if you have a question during the meeting, we'll answer it.
Well, so we're fast forwarding. We're only 2 minutes of the show. So where are we going the next 5 years?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we are at 52 chapters now, and we're beginning to develop a 2020 plan. We have morphed from being a member-driven organization, calendar-driven organization, to a global brand. And we want to bring that brand to other parts of the world because it has very positive attributes with it. So we are looking to where we're going next for chapters, looking to bring in young people. We have what we have been calling a millennial project, but it's going to be called Generation Forward. We want to bring young people and teach them to be investors, and we are ramping up our women's movement. We have 35 women members in Istanbul who are gangbusters.
Great.
So.
Okay, so where do you think we'll be 5 years from now? Will we be 100 chapters? 80? 80.
80. I think 80 is our break-even point.
You have the energy for that?
Well, here.
Okay, so where are we going to be throughout the globe? This is like, where's Waldo? So I'll be in Korea in October.
Well,
I'll be in Prague and Vienna.
Later in the year. You've been
September.
to Prague. I'm leaving for Zurich on Saturday, and then to Stockholm, and I'll be in Spain, and all the other chapters in the fall.
Well, time is running out, but let me say, whenever I speak around the world's flat, and so there's great opportunities everywhere, and so it might emerge from our Nordic chapters. It could be coming from any of our chapters around the world. Here we're taping in Silicon Valley. We're not precocious to think that all the great deal flow is going to come from here. It's being disseminated around the world. So entrepreneurs, we look forward to investing in you. My wife and I have made 53 investments. 90% of them have been local. We need to think global. People are listening to this or watching this overseas, they are already thinking global. We have to think more global here.
Yeah. And it's been a wonderful ride so far.
Yeah, and so see, it's going to get better, isn't it?
Yeah, always.
Okay, well, thank you so much for listening and watching Keiretsu Forum Presents. Look at past programs on YouTube, and just hashtag Keiretsu Forum Presents. Look forward to talking to you next month. Bye-bye.